A warm welcome to all of you here. Thank you for coming. I'm so happy that you're here. And everybody else is going to watch the recording later. Welcome to. This is the Pelvic Floor 101 workshop, and I am so excited for you today. My name is Alexandra. I've been passionate about pelvic floor health for many years after my own postpartum journey with 3 kids. And working with so many women who were facing the same challenges, I realized how much strength and confidence we can regain by taking care of this often overlooked part of the body. Whether it's sneezing or coughing or running after your kids or your grandkids, we all deserve to be confident in our bodies. And that's what we're all here today. And that's what we're going to do in our 4-day Pelvic Floor 101 Basics workshop. This workshop is a safe place. You guys, I want you to feel free to participate as little or as much as you like. But I would like to get to know each of you a little better so we can all support each other on this journey to better pelvic health. So I ask a little bit, where is everybody from? So let's see how far this workshop has reached. So let's get in the chat. Let me know where you guys are logging in from. So excited. I know a couple of you are in Montreal, not far from me. Lovely. We have Montreal. I know we have the Twin Cities earlier. Yes, Minnetonka. Lovely. Yes. Montreal is winning so far. Hello there. Hello. Hi. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Minnetonka in the house. We have Texas. Oh my God, that's amazing. Kyle and Claire, fantastic. You guys, oh, Laval, Montreal, fantastic. Wow, so excited. Okay, so I already asked about this. If any of you love running and jumping and hesitate to do it because you're worried about your pelvic floor and you have some concerns. So let me know who is into running, as you know, not like specifically like marathon running, but anything, you know, involving kids, running, lifting, chasing, you know, motherhood's life. And like Nancy shared, I'm pretty sure you have to run around when you are trying to respond to your pickleball. That sounds so cute, the name. All right. Yes, dog walking, we approve. Safe, keep it safe walking. We are definitely jumping on the trampoline. Yes, jogging, dancing, and yoga. Fantastic. Cindy is very active. Yes. Fantastic. And any moms who are actually athletes or fitness lovers in the group? It's always good to know how pelvic health impacts our different lifestyles. So before we dive in, I also started a line dancing class. Yes, Nancy. Dancing is, you're on it, girl. You got your racket game and you got your dancing. Both of them create longevity. So I congratulate you, and you're a great inspiration to us all.
Thanks.
Before we proceed, I need to do this important disclaimer. I want to clarify that I am not a doctor, but I am a certified Pilates teacher. I've been certified in 2015 in my school in London, Body Control Pilates. I am also recently a certified holistic natural therapist, and I have years of experience in this field of holistic wellness. I always reach to Mother Nature for healing. So everything I share today is based on my professional training and personal experiences working with my clients. However, it's always a good idea to consult your healthcare provider for specific medical advice, especially if you have ongoing chronic health conditions. This workshop is meant to educate you and empower you. I'm here for you, but I'm not a substitute for medical guidance. Okay, just get that out of the way. Right, let's get into it. I'm going to show you my little slides that I prepare lovingly, and let's get right into that. I'm going to get to share my screen, and then I'm going to take it to my beautiful Canvas creations. Right, and go big. Everybody can see?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you. So welcome, everybody. This is your free 4-day pelvic floor 101 workshop. This is your pelvic floor. This is our pelvis, actually. This is the bone structure of our pelvis. The next slide is going to explain what we're going to talk about today. We're going to get to know our pelvic floor. On day 2, we're going to talk about alignment, postural awareness. I want you to start being aware of how you're sitting and standing and walking and cooking and driving, all these things that your posture stays long time in this position. So we want to be aware about that because it really affects our pelvic floor. You have no idea. Now, day 3, we're going to talk about breathing awareness. I know some of us breathing is like taken for granted, but it is vital, okay, to be aware of how we do it, especially if you're lifting, carrying, jumping, running. We want to activate our core. We're going to connect, control these muscles so that when we're breathing, it doesn't actually put more pressure into our pelvic floor muscles. And on day 4, it is my favorite. Best of all, I think you can graduate after that. We're going to talk about controlling and releasing the pelvic floor muscles. So it's not just contracting. We need to learn how to release. And with everything we learned today, day 2, day 3, day 4, it's going to be a perfect wrap into this workshop. And if you stay till the end, I'm going to have some surprise bonuses for you guys. With the Lovejoy app and my new program that's coming up with Cindy. She's a gut health expert, hormone expert, in fact. So we're going to do this 6 weeks program coming up in November, and you can ask all the questions that day. Today as well, you can ask anything you want. A little bit about me. I'm going to go really brief. I don't want to take too much time talking about myself. In 2004, I became a mom for the first time to my special boy, Philippe. As you can see in the picture, he was wheelchair restricted, so a lot of lifting, a lot of back pain. As a single mom as well, I had to learn how to take care of myself. So that's when Pilates came. In 2007 to 2015, I was working in the visual effects industry. You can see I was a computer, sitting down all the time, doing 8 Harry Potters, and then getting some awards for it, thank goodness. And then in 2015, I decided that's enough. I'm going to become a Pilates teacher because I was doing Pilates as a client, as you guys. So I was enjoying being Pilates trained, but I wasn't certified. I wasn't teaching it. So I became a teacher. And at the same time, I was pregnant to my second baby, Joanna. She's right here. And then we moved to France. I started my business called Anjou Pilates. And then, unfortunately, my husband could not keep with the French jobs. And so we moved to Quebec. That's where he's from, in 2017. And then soon after, I became pregnant again at 43 during the pandemic. Yes, 2020, little Raphael came. So this is when I was like, okay, pelvic floor, hormonal changes, perimenopause, what is happening? I want to know. And so I created the Lovejoy Pilates app, and I became officially your dedicated Pilates teacher and a wellness coach. Right, let's get to know our pelvic floor today. I don't know if you can see me in the camera. I'm going to get out of the slide for a second because I want to take you through it and be more visible for you guys. So you can pin me, and we're going to go closer to what is happening in this structure. This is your pelvis. I call her Phoebe. Phoebe is also a character from Friends. She's very friendly, so I thought she won't mind me calling this pelvis Phoebe. So in this bone structure, we have our hips, right? Every part of the corner is attached to muscles. So let's talk about a little bit the little bony structures. First, we have our hip. We have our hip sockets going in there with the thigh bone, femur. We have our pubic bone right in the middle, pubis. We have our lumbar spine and a sacrum going all the way down to our little tailbone here, also called the coccyx. And between all this are hanging your pelvic floor muscles. They are just like a little trampoline, like a hammock. sitting there supporting your organs. Which organs? The bladder, the bowel, and our womb, our uterus. So you can tell that it's a lot of work to keep holding into all these organs, right? So imagine your trampoline here. These muscles here are very fragile over the years and over pregnancies and 9 months of heavy duty lifting babies. And even if you haven't had babies, it's still heavy on the body, holding all the organs in that fragile part of the body. And I'm gonna take you back into our slides because I want to make sure you understand deeper about all the pelvic functions. So like I was saying, this is the hammock, like a trampoline, which lies on the floor of the pelvis and supports organs like the womb, the bladder, and the bowel. And of course, who doesn't want to know about their own internal trampoline, right? So we're going to learn today about all the pelvic floor functions. It is supporting our organs. It is helping us control our bladder and our bowels, bowel movements, I should say. It helps us pass urine and pieces. And of course, we need a pelvic floor for sexual function. That's how we populate the planet. And of course, breathing, yes, believe it or not, pelvic floor is also supporting our breathing, pregnancy and childbirth. And that's it. That is a lot of things happening with just this organ. Okay, so we talked about these three big, first, I think the biggest ones is the womb, the bladder, and our bowel movements. So let's talk about how, let's go about how we can wake up these muscles, okay? So let's find them. So I want you to sit comfortably in your chair. You can rest your back and you can have your hands on your lap palms facing high up towards the sky. So relax with your breathing. I want you to really, really, really relax. You're seated, we're not standing, we're just sitting for now. And what I want you to imagine is yourself in a long line in the toilets and you're really desperate. So we're going to activate the front pelvic floor muscles, which is the ones that hold our bladder movement. So the P, you squeeze now these muscles as if you are holding pee. And I don't encourage you guys doing it in the toilet while you're peeing because actually you can get a urine infection if your urine doesn't completely remove itself from the bladder. So squeeze here and release. This is your front pelvic floor muscles, also called the anterior muscle. So yes, this is the muscle we use when we're trying to go to the ladies for number one. And there is a long line. So relax these muscles. I'm gonna go to the posterior muscle. These are the muscles when you are at the supermarket and you're waiting in line to pay for your shopping cart and there is a huge line behind you and you are trying so hard to hold apart. Yes, I said it. A little bit of gas. Everybody has it. It's human, absolutely humanly acceptable. So these muscles that hold tight, these are the back pelvic floor muscles. Can you activate them now for me? So close your eyes, squeeze and release. You will notice that during this muscle contraction, you also engage some of your glute muscles, right? It's almost impossible not to. So this is part of your core, right? So pelvic floor and core is almost the same, guys. Okay, so coming back into our slides, I'm going to go through some of these risk factors when the pelvic floors start to be dysfunctional. I'm not going to go through them in detail because this is why we're doing a 6 weeks program, but maybe some of you can already relate. So some of these dysfunctions is a organ prolapse, age can affect your pelvic floor muscles. Of course, we talked about pregnancy and childbirth. Sometimes it's genetics. Some of you, unfortunately, go through hysterectomy surgeries, and that means the total removal of your uterus and your womb, and that also can affect your pelvic floor and weaken the muscles down there. That's pelvic floor injury, could be anything. As I said, if you're an athlete, I used to be a cyclist going downhill mountain biking, and I did hurt a lot myself down there. So you can have a pelvic floor injury. I know you have no mercy for me. I kind of self did it. We can have increased abdominal pressure. We're going to go through that and what it means. Constipation, intense physical effort. It could be anything from these women that they're doing heavy body weightlifting or weightlifting athletes that do that, boxing, kickboxing, any kind of martial arts. It could be intense. We have obesity and history of back pain, which is very common these days. And all of these things are common, but when we're talking about accidents with sneezing and coughing and jumping and running and things like, you know, sexual intercourse and sexy time with your husband, these stuff are common, but they're not normal. Now, I want you to know that just because nobody has studied this yet well enough in depth, it doesn't mean that it's acceptable. Okay, guys, and I want you all to be aware of this, and that's why we're doing this workshop today. So it's common, but it's not normal. Okay. Tomorrow, I want you to know, tomorrow we're going to talk about alignment and postural awareness. And I'm going to come out of these slides now, stop the share, and bring you back into our chat and see if you guys have any questions. Right. Okay, good. So far, so good. Let me know who in the chat would love to enjoy running again without accidents. Say yes in the chat. Who here would like to enjoy their husband pain-free intimacy? Yes, right? Who doesn't want to do that? And who doesn't want to jump like crazy on the trampoline with the kids or not? You guys know that the rebounding has an amazing effect to your lymphatic system. And if you want to drain toxins and really boost up your immunity, trampoline and rebounding is one of the best exercises. And I don't recommend you to do it right away, but we will maybe do it after this workshop. Yeah, let's say, yeah, baby, let's do it. Hell yeah, it'd be nice to jump and not pee, absolutely. Right, so today, I love it. I love that you guys feel safe, and I encourage you to really support each other here and have no shame, because these things literally are our life, and we need to start exposing, and people need to be more aware, and more people should be talking about these things. All right. Okay. So let's check on our pelvic floor muscles one more time. We're going to lay on our backs. Let's come down into the mat if you have one. Here is mine. Take your time. I don't want you to strain or do anything too crazy for today. We're going to take it easy. I know some of you had late dinner, so don't worry. It's not intense. We're just connecting with our deep pelvic floor muscles. All right. So come into a nice seated position with your chest lifted for one breath in. And on the exhalation, we're going to curve our spine. So you're tilting your pelvis, and you want to lower back to almost touch on the mat. And then you inhale, you come up. And on the exhale, let's put our hands under our knees, and without putting too much pressure on our abs, holding behind the knees and behind the thighs, come down head last. Right? Especially if some of you are recovering from surgeries, this is the safest way. Right. All right. Let's put our knees to the side and let the feet connect. If it's not comfortable for you guys, I suggest you have a nice little pillow under each knee so that it supports your legs. Otherwise, let them just hang there. Let them be free. Let the toes touch each other and the feet are pressing against each other. And start rocking yourself gently, left and right, like a little boat. I'm gonna release our arms to the side, palms facing up. We're gonna relax our face and shoulders. Relax our belly. We're not tensing. We're breathing with the belly. Relax again, shoulders, head, neck, shoulders, belly, hips, legs, feet, arms, relax, melt into the mat. Exhaling all the madness. Okay. Right, let's start with a little pelvis tilt. So right now, your belly button and your spine is in natural position. It's called the neutral spine. So you naturally have a gap under your lower back. This is your natural spine position. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna inhale with our belly. And on the exhale, we're gonna press the lower back into the mat, which help our pelvis tilt ever so gently. And we start gently wrapping around, feeling a nice wrap around our abs, but we're not really working on them. We just feel that nice little wrap. We're gonna inhale thoracically and then exhale, release again. Let's do this 3 times, okay? We inhaling with the belly. On the exhale, we press the lower back into the mat and we start waking up our core, okay? Not the pelvic floor muscles yet, just maybe a little bit activation. Inhaling and then exhaling, release. Okay, let's go for the posterior muscles. Who remembers these ones? Yes, the ones that stop the windy secrets. Let's do it. We're gonna inhale. On the exhale, we're gonna tilt the pelvis, so the belly button is gonna go down towards the spine, and we're gonna squeeze the booty and hold that little windy secret. Don't let it go out. We hold it, we breathe, and then exhaling, we release. Release the booty, release the pelvis, release the belly. Again, your arms are still here on the side. I'm just lifting them so you can see what's happening on my pelvis, but you can have them on the side. Right, let's do it again. I'm gonna inhale with the belly. On the exhale, we press down the lower back, belly button goes down, and we start waking up the back, deep pelvic floor muscles, squeezing the booty and holding in the windy secret. Hold it for 1 breath, squeezing, and then exhaling, release. Right, we found it. We found the back muscles, posterior pelvic floor muscles. Okay, now we're gonna go back into the core connection, back muscles, and then front muscles, the bladder muscles, the muscles that stop the urine. Okay, let's relax first because we need to be relaxed to understand what is actually happening down there. Okay, breathing with the belly to relax. And on the exhale, we press down the lower back, we squeeze the booty and the back muscles, and now we're going to the front. And as we're going to the front, you should feel your thighs working, right? This is your core as well. Core is not just abs. This is your mega core pelvic floor muscles fully activated, front, back, and all around. We breathe here, we squeeze, and on the exhale, we release everything. Right, I think we can do this one more time with barely any instructions. I'm just gonna go breathe in, relax, exhaling, pressing the lower back, squeeze the booty, squeeze the back pelvic floor muscles, go into the front ones, squeeze the thighs as well, come up, we're still staying down, but we're coming into the biggest squeeze ever, and then exhale, release. You can extend the legs away one after the other. We're going to use the heels to move us up and down because these little gentle vibrations relax the full body. And then we're going to shake these legs left and right from the heels. We're shaking these thighs and booty. And we're going to come into the side gently. We're going to come up into one hip gently. And then place one heel between your thighs. And we're just going to do a side stretch here. Yes, that's right. Like what? Side stretch. Stretching everything from the hip to the armpit is very important. We're going to inhale here and then exhaling. Come up straight. Float the other arm. Exhale, stretch. Exhaling. And a little bit of a mobility check here. If you can, lift your arms up to lift your knees, to lift your hips up on your knees. Otherwise, just switch gently here. Be gentle today. We're going to do some mobility moves on day 4 for sure. Coming back, opposite heel between the thighs. Float the arm with the knee pointing. Hold the foot, lift up to the sky, breathe, and then exhale. Reach away, stretching the side of the waist and the hips. Come back, breathe. Exhale. Breathe to float the other arm. Bend the elbows, stretch away, but don't let the hip follow you. Keep it down, otherwise it's not a stretch. Exhaling, pushing back up. Right, and we're almost at the end of our 30 minutes. So, with 1 minute to spare, I'm gonna go through briefly what we talked today. This is your pelvis. Your pelvic floor muscles are like a little trampoline, like a hammock, right there, attached to all these bone structures, hips especially, and then everything that the trampoline is supporting is the organs like the uterus, the womb, the bladder, and our bowel. Of course, we have all the gut system, you know, everything is there. There's a lot. We talked about the dysfunctions and all the other functions of the pelvic floor, like intimacy and childbirth. So if you guys have any questions, this is your time to ask them. And if you're busy, I appreciate your time. I respect your time. You're free to go to the world, back to your family and loved ones. And I see you tomorrow when we talk about alignment, the form, and postural awareness. Guys, it's going to be mind-blowing. You won't even know that it's affecting your pelvic floor muscles. I'm here for you. Let me know in the chat if you have any questions. Otherwise, I'll send you the recording tonight and I'll see you tomorrow, same time. We got a date?
Thank you so much, Alexandra. That was great.
Thank you. It's my
I do
pleasure.
have a really quick question, though. I was told to do Kegels. You know, after I had given birth, they're saying do your Kegels. What's the difference between that and what you just explained as the front muscles versus the back muscles? Are the Kegels combining of the two muscles?
The Kegels is mostly our vagina muscles. So it's the front muscles.
Okay.
So it's basically the childbirth tunnel. These are the Kegels. It doesn't affect the back muscles really.
Okay. No, that was really good that you talked about the difference between the front and the back. I always just thought about the Kegels as just like the whole center, you know, trying to hold everything up.
You can hold the whole thing up, but actually sometimes your bowels, you can actually have, you know, dysfunctions and create them unnecessarily, like stress, you know, constipation and things like that that shouldn't be there just because you're doing crazy Kegels, you know. You need to be able to separate these muscles. So
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you.
Do you recommend doing the stretches and exercises every day? Absolutely. So this is the first exercise I want you to remember. It's called the oyster, open oyster. It has another level that we're going to go through it tomorrow. It actually comes into a bridge, and that gives you a little bit of an elevator visualization. We're going to go through that in the following days. I highly recommend you do them. Yes, if you do this simple exercise for 3 weeks daily, like 5 minutes, 3 reps even, you start seeing changes in 3 weeks if you're consistent for sure. I hope that helps, Cheryl. How do I know for sure if I'm flexing the correct pelvic muscle near the back? Yes. So you will feel your glutes firing up, basically. So it's like I said, the example was hilarious, right? You are in the supermarket and you got this big fart coming. You don't want to embarrass yourself. You don't even know if it's going to have acoustics or stereo or whatever. So you are activating these muscles. These are the ones. So I told you it's going to be light and fun, right? I don't want to go too scientific and complicated. That's for our program, our 6 weeks program. Any more questions? We're good? Hi there, it's so good to see you. So you guys are 1 hour back, right? It's 7:30 now. Yeah, Minnesota. Hey, Minnesota, I love it. Right, any other questions? Don't be shy, girls. I'm here for you. And even for Cindy, if you have any questions for our gut health expert here, hormonal gut health expert, please do ask Cindy away. Otherwise, I leave you and love you and see you tomorrow. See you
See you
tomorrow, guys.
tomorrow.
Take
Thank you,
care. I'll send you
Alessandra.
the recording later. Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Have a good night, everyone.
Have a good night. Bye,
Thank
Carla,
you.
Nancy, Anita, Sarah, and the family. Bye, Cindy. Take care.